Hello and welcome back. We're going to talk today about tools that can be used for making your Drypoint plates at home. And the tool that's used by most printmakers is called a needle tool. And this tool is a fairly thick piece of tool steel that's been sharpened on both ends. They look like this with a cork handle, and sometimes they're also called twisted scribes. Now, some of you may not have this particular tool at home, and I'm going to talk about other tools that can be used in its place. When you're looking around your home for what tool can be used, you're looking for a tool that's firm and strong, so something that's created with metal, tool steel preferably, and also incredibly sharp. So I have a range of tools here that can be used that some of you may in fact have at home. This is a clutch device that's used for X-Acto knife blades, and inside of this I have the point for a compass. So this would work very well as the compass point is pretty sharp. A compass itself can be used, but you can see how this has the needle attached to it, and this would be a little cumbersome to hold while drawing. So comfort is a factor as you're looking for what can be used in order to create your marks on your plate. And this option here I put together. I found a plastic mechanical pencil, and I was able to find a sewing needle that was the proper gauge to fit inside of the shaft of the pencil. It took a little bit of trial and error with my packet of needles to find one that would fit inside of it, and also that the clutch inside of the pencil mechanism would be able to hold on to. With this tool, I'm going to have it so that the needle is only extended beyond the edge of the pencil by about 1/4 of an inch, because it is such a narrow piece of metal that I want to be careful when I'm putting pressure down that it's not going to flex and potentially snap the needle as I'm drawing with it. This tool will work very well though, as the needle is incredibly sharp. If you don't have a mechanical pencil, you may be able to tape a needle to the edge of a pencil, the backward end of a pencil, with some fairly strong tape. Whatever tool you choose to use, you'll want to test it out first before beginning plate work. What you're looking for is the ability to push into the plate surface to create a pit and a burr. And you'll want to be able to feel this as a bump when you run your finger over it. It'll take a little bit of trial and error, and you may have to modify the plate slightly after you create your first print in order to create more of a burr to holding when you go to print. Now to begin plate work. I'm working from a photo reference that I printed in inverse, so it will be backwards on my plate surface, and it's also printed 2 sides of my plate. This I've taped the plate onto to form a hinge so that the two will stay locked together in registration. With PETG, because the plate surface is transparent, the plate can lay directly on top of your preliminary photograph or drawing, and you'll be able to see through the plate surface to the guide below. You are welcome to draw directly on the plate if you choose not to use a preliminary drawing, or if you want to work very gesturally with a little bit of a guide, you can also draw on the plate surface with Sharpie before you get started. And now to begin. I'm ready to start my Tetra Pak Drypoint. And because Tetra Pak is an opaque material, we'll have to transfer our preliminary sketch onto the Tetra Pak as opposed to being able to see through it to the preliminary guide that's located underneath the plate material. To transfer the image to my Tetra Pak plate, I have taped onto the table surface my pre-cut to size Tetra Pak plate. In registration, I have taped down my preliminary guide photograph that I'm going to use to help me with composition. And between the two, I'm going to slide graphite side down the graphite transfer paper that I created during the monotype project. And notice that this is just slightly smaller than the width of my plate surface, so as I'm transferring the image, I'm going to slide it back and forth wherever it's needed. When transferring the image, I'm going to try to be as minimal as possible with the lines that I transfer so that I have a very simple drawing to use as a basis of the main compositional shapes, and I can fill in the detail then through the plate work. You'll want to make sure to use extremely light pressure so that you don't accidentally emboss the surface of the plate, which may in fact then hold ink when you go to print.